Hello ladies! And I guess you read the title. In this video, we're gonna find out if you are unhappy. I will tell you 5 characteristics or main questions that you need to ask yourself in order to identify if you are unhappy. Number 1, the first sign to know if you are unhappy is you are in this video. You're watching me right now. It's so simple, but you were attracted by this title, caught you. So this already means there is something wrong in your life. You're not happy. Otherwise, why would you click on this video in order to find out if you are happy or not, right? So, number 2, don't you feel that in the morning it is harder to wake up? Like, you click multiple times on your snooze button, and this might seem more obvious than it actually is, but it's not about not wanting to go to work, but basically hitting the snooze button over and over again means you're not fully happy and you're not where you are. And I don't mean it financially, but emotionally in your mind. Your life doesn't go in a direction that makes you so happy that you cannot wait to wake up and live the day. And we all have this sometimes, of course, when you stay up late, for instance, that when the next day when you want to wake up, it is harder. I mean, I have that too, don't worry. But what I'm talking about is when you constantly feel like you don't want the next day to start. It's way deeper than you could think of right now. So let me explain what actually happens in your mind. Sleep is like a small getaway from your reality. When you sleep, you actually process what happened throughout the day. And the more your body is screaming for sleep, the less it actually wants to live right here and right now. And it can be so dangerous that if you don't answer this question, and you have to be very honest to yourself, you can go into a depression. Because one of the other signs, if you feel fatigue all the time, if you feel like, oh, I could take a nap. You know, there was a time, actually, before I moved to Dubai, I constantly took naps throughout the day. And I don't mean when it's the time of the month, girl. No, I mean like every day, doesn't matter. After my period, before my period, I just had like, oh, now I can nap. Because I had time, I had too much space and I didn't know what to do, and I would be able to watch a movie or scroll on Instagram or whatever, and instead I was just like, let me just take a nap. This fatigueness in your body and the craving for sleep, this is the second sign you're not happy. Sign number 3. Do you feel isolated and disconnected? You know, when you have the urge to not meet with anyone, or you really want to have your own space constantly, this can also be another sign that you're not happy. It's just because naturally when we are happy and when we are confident in what we're doing and when we feel that we are fulfilled, we love to share our lives with people around us. Let it be on WhatsApp or let it be in real life. But if you don't do that, then there's literally something that tells you, my life is not worth it to be around other people, so I want to disconnect. And this is not the disconnection that we usually do, that, for instance, when you're around people all the time, then you feel like you need to take a month off of social media, or everyone else. No, this is something that comes subconsciously. You subconsciously disconnect. You don't fit anymore. You don't want it to align with your friends or your family. And in general, you feel like there is nothing around you and you are not even connected with yourself. Number 4, to know if you are unhappy, is negative self-talk and self-doubt. You develop something that is called the inner critic that constantly sits next to you on your shoulder and says, you don't do that properly. I don't like you for that. You're not good in this. This is the inner critic. People also say this inner critic appears in the voice of either your dad or any ex, someone that really used to do you dirty and didn't appreciate you as a person and did criticize you over and over again. If this is within you and you really are too harsh to yourself, and I don't mean it in a positive way that this actually helps you to be more ambitious and push forward. No, something that is self-destructive, something that really tears you down and holds you back from actually growing. If this is within you, this is a high sign, like a red flag, okay? If you find yourself constantly engaging in negative self-talk and doubting your capacities, then you know that there is something wrong with your overall happiness. And you know, people don't understand happiness is not more money or living wealthy or having the best people around you. Happiness has so many different factors and so many different levels, which we will come to as well in this video. Number 5, to know if you're unhappy, is your enthusiasm. And this is something that you cannot question yourself. This is really something you should ask the people around you, your family members or people that you maybe interact with on work. Are you enthusiastic when there is any progress? You know, that's a big lack that some people have that are genuinely unhappy. They cannot really be happy. You know, I see this sometimes in kids, which really concerns me, that some kids, you know, when you give them something, they're like, thank you, and they don't know how to be happy. Me as a kid, if someone would have gifted me something, I'd be like, yeah, thank you, oh my God, I love you, thank you so much. And even today, I mean, this is something that some women out there hate about their men, if they are like, thank you, babe. Thank you, because I know some men are like this, you know. But the lack of being enthusiastic as a woman is a different thing, because we express our feeling. We are emotional, don't forget that. Feminine energy that should be dominated within your body is enthusiastic. It is overly emotional. If something good happens, you are enthusiastic. If something bad happens, you're gonna cry and you're devastated, which is good. So you have to have this in you that ask your friends, ask them, by the way, do you think that I'm not enthusiastic enough? And the answers might surprise you, but it's good to reflect yourself not only in self-talk, but with a third person from outside. And coming back to the topic, what happiness actually is about, let me tell you only 3 layers. There are actually way more, but 3 layers that are for me personally the most important ones when it comes to happiness, okay? The number 1 layer is pleasure. Immediate satisfaction, happiness, enjoyment when something is actually happening. For instance, when you're eating, when you're going out, when you're having anything, like this is the immediate satisfaction, the first layer of happiness. And also the pleasure is something that we know that is completely common, okay? The second layer is engagement. The feeling when you are fully engaged in activities that fulfill your purpose. This involves, for instance, using our skills and talents in order to fulfill something. Let's say you work or you do something or you engage in something that gives you a higher meaning. Also, engagement gives us a longer satisfaction other than pleasure, because you have to eat all the time, for instance. And by the way, this is also the reason why so many people, as soon as they reach their financial goals, become unhappy. Why? Because there is nothing else that gives them a higher purpose. If you have all the money in this world and that was something that gave you a deeper meaning and understanding, and you thought this is part of your skills and talents, the second you reach that goal, you lose your sense, you lose your purpose. And this is what makes you unhappy, because you think that this paper is gonna bring you all the happiness in this world, and because you got that and you can literally afford everything, you don't have a higher self that you're gonna feed and no longer lasting happiness. Keep that in mind when you become a millionaire. The third layer, and the most important one, is meaning and purpose. You have to have the sense that whatever you do feeds a higher purpose. And this is also the only layer that, if you define it properly, it gives you the longest time of happiness. Which is why, for instance, my personal motto is to help 1 million women to have their own business and become financially independent. Once my coach asked me, okay, but what if you reach that goal? What will happen next? And I had an immediate answer, because I know that he wanted to test me that what if I would reach that goal? Does it mean I would become unhappy simply because I reached that goal and I already helped the 1 million women? And I told him, no, it's not about the number, because 1 million is just a symbol for me to make it more achievable. After I help 1 million women, the world is next. My purpose is drawn to helping women to become financially independent and create their own business. So as long as I live, I will be happy as long as I'm helping other women. And this is what I'm doing right now. With this video, I wanted to show you that you have 5 indicators to know if you are happy or not. And also the layers of happiness in order to check for yourself. If you ever ask yourself if you are fulfilling all of these 3 layers. So I hope you like this video. Subscribe, like this video, and also comment. Looking forward for the next video.